What's going on, guys? Cruising Podcast. Welcome back. So yesterday we got some I wouldn't say full clarification, but we got some news and updates on where DC is heading with James Gunn and Peter Safran as now the co and CEOs of DC. We want to really talk about that, break it down, and kind of give our thoughts. I'm overall excited. I feel like the slate is not bad. I feel like the slate is pretty good. I just feel like it leaves us with more questions instead of answers, in regards to what's happening with our older characters and stuff like that. In regards to who's coming back, who's leaving, and it kind of seems like the only one leaving is Henry Cavill, which is weird. We're going to get into that later. But we have the slate pulled up here. So James Gunn came out with a video, announcing all this stuff. Let's we should start with the video.
The video?
Kind of look through it, see. Let's go over what James Gunn said and our reaction to that. We've seen this. We kind of want to go over it again, and I'm still a little confused, of what they're trying to do here. You can put audio on it. That's fine.
Put audio?
Yeah, it's muted right there. Pause it right there. So they're connecting this DC stuff with film, television, and he said gaming. I don't know how I feel with the gaming stuff, because then I feel like that could limit what you can do in a game, right? It's kind of like the Star Wars situation. You look at like Jedi Fallen Order or something,
I don't know. It's just the thing with the gaming is how do you connect it to your mainline story when I don't know, because it's a game.
Yeah.
A game has to be like let's say 15, 20 hours. And also, do you have to get the actor?
Yeah, or like
does it part of the game?
Or does it limit? Does it limit the game? Because now you have to stick to a certain
that's
border.
That's the only thing.
Again, we don't know yet. Very early stages, especially with games. Games take years and years to get made, so we don't have more detail on that. But I find that interesting. It could be cool. But let's go ahead. Let's continue. Let's see. So. Yeah, you see here he's mentioning the DC Elseworld stuff, right? Matt Reeves' Batman, Joker, I think like the Teen Titans series or something like that, which is cool. I think that's a good thing because obviously nobody wants them to touch Matt Reeves' Batman, Todd Phillips' Joker, two very successful films from DC, not connected to the DCU. But this is where people have a lot of questions, right? If there is an Elseworld universe that's not connected, why can't we get that Henry Cavill Man of Steel sequel?
That's stupid.
Why can't we get that? A lot of people have questions on that, right? And if you see here, you can put it up a little bit. If you see in this video, it's going to be called Gods and Monsters. Now, he kind of mentions very quickly, like, oh yeah, so Shazam connects to the Flash. And then the Flash resets everything. And then after that, it's that Blue Beetle movie. He's like, which is going to be a good start for the DCU. And then Aquaman. And then we start the new chapter of Chapter 1. And I feel like this is them being very, they're trying to be very, what's the right word for it? Politically correct, I guess, and just kind of like, oh look, these are like they're just brushing through it real quick, like they matter, but not really.
It's that basic PR stuff.
They're kind of He's kind of bullshitting it, like, oh yeah, Shazam leads to Flash, which I don't think it does, and then the Flash reboots everything, which I think it does. I do think the Flash is like a big movie. He says here that the Flash is like one of the best superhero movies ever made. There has been a lot of hype on it, but my question is, I don't know. He says, oh yeah, the Flash resets everything, but then Blue Beetle and Aquaman, that's going to lead into but he says it so quickly in the video that it's like, they don't want to say that none of it matters because then they won't make money off of it. So they want to try to keep us entertained, just like the Ezra Miller thing, right? Oh yeah, we've talked to Ezra Miller and we might, keep him or not. We're not sure, depending on. I don't think that's true. At least I hope not. Because if you keep Ezra Miller after everything that's been going on with no sort of consequence, like they need to let him go and let him figure his stuff out, then come back if he wants to, if they want to. But you can't just like let him get away with that and just bring him back for another movie. There's no way.
Yeah, because then why did you get rid of Henry Cavill? Because
That's the thing. Yeah.
I was reading up there. I saw that supposedly it was something. What was the quote that he said about Superman and Henry Cavill?
Oh, that there was multiple reasons.
Yeah, it was like multiple reasons why
it wasn't his.
Yeah. So
Superman.
maybe is there something more to that? Like,
yeah, we were talking about this yesterday. I feel like maybe it is weird, right? Everybody is kind of like, wait, because in the video he talks about Shazam, Aquaman, everybody, and in the press conference, like they're not completely out. Like it's open. How come their stuff is open, their characters are open, but then Henry Cavill is like a definitive out? And I was telling you this yesterday. I feel like maybe is it because where his story was with Man of Steel that he killed General Zod, and maybe like there was decisions made with his Superman that they felt they just couldn't continue. Maybe it's that, or is it a personal thing that everybody's assuming as well? Where do they not? Henry Cavill.
Like, is he like difficult to work with, or maybe he has his own vision of the character that he wanted to go, but they don't want to follow?
Yeah, is it something personal? Yeah, is it something personal, or is it just what they did with the character already that they felt just wasn't going to work? I feel like it could be that, I feel like it could be that, maybe that. I don't think it's anything personal. I could be wrong, but maybe it's just something with.
Because it's clearly not like the age. I thought it was like something with the age.
No, maybe it's the decisions that Zack Snyder made with his Superman that James Gunn doesn't want to deal with or go through with.
But the thing is, yeah, like in Man of Steel, he kills Zod. But if you look at, what was it, Batman v Superman, then the Zack Snyder, whatever, towards the end of those movies, he was kind of becoming more like the Superman that we all know. Yeah,
he's becoming the more optimistic Superman. But I think maybe he's already made those decisions. So now if you continue Henry Cavill, you can do Zod, right? And you also have to kind of follow his lore, right? Of like how Krypton was.
They could have done an Elseworld.
That's my argument. I think you don't have to continue with his in the DCU, but you could have done an Elseworld. At least like a one-off. Like one more, send them off. Because they are doing another Superman. Which, try to check there. What was the name of that Superman? I think it's under where you have the slates.
I don't think it came up in the slate.
On the article. There was an article you had pulled up on the previous one. On the other tab, yeah. Swamp Thing, or did it show up on there? Actually, no, it was in the press conference that he mentioned.
Yeah, it was only in the press conference.
I forgot the name of the character, but it's like the Black Superman character.
Oh, yeah, right here. Superman. Oh, no, wait, no, that's the CW.
That's the CW.
Hey, see, look, it doesn't even show up in the slate.
Yeah, so it's DC Elseworld.
Maybe it's not even like a sure thing.
I don't know, but it's interesting, if you're going to have two Superman, even though, yes, it's not like Clark Kent, it's a different character, but, I mean, it's a very interesting choice, but I like the slate, right? Which, let's look at the slate there real quick to kind of go through it, because I feel like, I don't know, man, I like the slate, and I like James Gunn. I think James Gunn could do really good things. I don't think it's fair if you're going to start cherry picking who stays and who goes, right? Because how come everybody else has an opportunity to be open to come back, but not Henry Cavill? At least Elseworld, even if you just did something Elseworld. But we'll move on from that. We'll get into that later. But let's look at the slate. Let's kind of break down the slate here. Let's see. It starts. Okay, so we got Shazam coming out, then The Flash, Universe Reset, meaning So
then Blue Beetle,
Aquaman. I don't think any of those movies are gonna matter. The Flash is gonna reset everything, and I think they're recasting them. They're not gonna use Flash for a while. Now the first thing that's coming out is what is that? Creature Commandos.
Yeah, which is
essentially It's kind of gives me like it's another group, right? It's kind of like what do you get out of it? It's kind of like it's an animated series written by James Gunn. He's doing a lot, man. I mean, good for him.
He's writing a lot.
Yeah, good for him. You might recognize the Suicide Squad Weasel as a core member, using Creature Commandos as a stepping off point. So what they're going to do with this is who they're casting for the voice actors in this, they're going to also be in live action, which is a cool idea. I like that.
So it's going to be moving into and out of
animation and live action.
So it's basically what like a knockoff of Suicide Squad, like the lower tier of it.
That's what I heard. They're kind of like D level Suicide Squad. The group of military misfits is slightly paranormal. Rick Flag Sr. So Rick Flag, he's Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Rick
The
Flag.
senior. So that's his dad? Is that what we're
that's
doing?
him right here.
Yeah, so...
That's him probably.
Okay, interesting. Again, James Gunn is known for doing this, right? He can get like a D-list. Look at Guardians.
That was one of the things in that movie, like when they killed Rick Flag.
Yeah,
Like,
it was good. I liked Suicide Squad though. Like the movie was
I really
good.
like Rick Flag's character. It sucks that they killed
Rick
him.
Flag was good. So I would like to see like, I guess this is like his dad and stuff. Again, James Gunn does. I love James Gunn. So this is.
But
I'm excited for what he's trying to do here. What throws me off is with the Henry Cavill thing. You said we're rebooting it. Fine. It hurts because Henry Cavill's such a good Superman, and he didn't get a fair chance. That's fine. But now you're kind of like cherry picking who stays and who goes, because now you see we're looking here. We got the Waller series, so
which is just it's
Viola Davis is returning as Amanda
Yeah.
Waller. So remember, she shows up in Peacemaker, she shows up in Suicide Squad, and she shows up in Black Adam at the end when she calls Henry Cavill Superman to go after Black Adam. So that's where I'm a little confused. Are you just cherry picking who stays and who goes? Because she's technically in that universe.
Yeah, and this one is set between the events of season 1 and 2 of Peacemaker.
So that basically confirms.
Yeah, and it's being created by Crystal Henry, the guy who did Watchmen. The movie or like the comic? Oh no, the movie was Zack Snyder, right?
Yeah.
And
Who
then
created
the Watchmen, like the comic book. Yeah, right.
yeah,
right.
maybe.
I mixed them up.
And Jeremy Carver, Doom Patrol.
Which is,
I mean, that's
think
interesting.
Is that a CW show?
Probably. I don't know. But that basically confirms, like, Peacemaker's coming back. Even though at the end of Peacemaker, we see the Justice League.
Well, not all of them.
Some of them were blacked out, but you see the Flash, you see Aquaman. I think they're gonna wrap up Aquaman and probably... apparently he might be playing Lobo, which I can see that, but that would mean sacrificing his Aquaman, I guess. So... let's see here. What's next on the slate there? We got the Amanda Waller. It's a series set between Peacemaker 1 and 2. Okay, interesting. What I'm thinking is between the Flash and maybe the Waller series, I think it's going to be explained what happened with the universe. I think Peter Safran said something about like a multiverse. So is there different like variants or something? Are they going to use that kind of thing? Yeah, I like their idea of the DC Elseworld though. That they did mention Batman Part 2 is coming out in 2025.
Yeah, October 3rd. I think it says there. Is that what it says?
I'm not sure. I know it's 2025.
Yeah, but I think this comes out and then Superman comes out the same year.
The same year. Which is
pretty crazy.
DC is in a... Look, all this slate is great and all. It looks great, but it's got to work. Like, the movies need to be good. If not, it's going to fail. When Superman comes out, if it's not good... you can forget about the DC slate. It's just, and I'm hoping it's good. I'm rooting for this to work because I think DC right now, and James Gunn mentioned this, he learned a lot from Marvel and all the mistakes Marvel made, and he's trying to not repeat that here. And he's saying that they're more prepared than Marvel in the sense of they know where they're ending. Marvel never really knew that, and you can kind of see that now. So I think that's really good, and I don't know. What was next on the slate there?
Superman.
We got the Superman Legacy, which is not an origin story.
Yeah.
I like that.
Comes out July, I think
2025.
Or 17.
So that's a film. So they're mixing it up here, and then we got the Green Lantern series, which is going to be a series on HBO Max. Yeah. I think that's going to be really cool.
They're like police. I think they're like police. It's like a True Detective vibe, and they're like. Yeah, so I'm curious about that, this actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, they're saying it's like
actually pretty cool.
The Lanterns, like this True Detective kind of story, which I think is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And that they're saying it's going to lead into the overall bigger story on what's happening in the DC universe.
The big one that people were excited for was The Authority.
The Authorities, yeah, it's like another group. I've noticed James Gunn, and what I like about this is...
A lot of groups.
Yeah, and also, but it's like... stories or characters you never really heard of before, and him making them popular, right? He did it with Guardians. He redeemed Suicide Squad really well. He's really good at that. And again, James Gunn is talented, man. He's awesome. I'm a little confused with the whole reboot thing. We still need more clarification on that,
And after The Authority, It is that
Paradise
prequel
Lost.
series. I think it's a series, and it's about the Wonder Woman. No, not Wonder Woman. Like the place.
Pull it up. Let me see. Let's read on it here.
See,
Lanterns, The Authority, Paradise Lost. Wonder Woman TV series as Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with all the inhabitants of Paradise Island. In this live-action series, see the birthplace of Wonder Woman, Themyscira, also known as Paradise Island. Gonna also tease the appearance of other Themyscira residents besides the Amazons.
That's what it's called. Yeah. Which
Okay.
that actually sounds pretty cool.
So,
Because it's on HBO,
mhm.
so and they're really good at that type of stuff. If
Right.
it's done really well, that'd be really cool.
And it makes you wonder too, what does this mean for Wonder Woman? You know, Gal Gadot.
I think just recast. At some point.
If you're gonna reboot everything, you
Yeah.
know. But obviously, it seems like he's kind of keeping his stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
damn, that's kind of, you know. Now the next one that I'm actually really excited about, you can on the article, just check out on the article. Is the Batman, what he's doing with Batman here, and we're getting a
Yeah.
Batman and Robin. It's gonna be called The Brave and the Bold.
Which is
Is that right?
Yeah, the Brave and the Bold.
What does it say on the article here? Let me see. Oh, okay, there it is. The Brave and the Bold, introduction of DCU's new Batman using Grant Morrison's comic book run of the same name. It will feature Damian Wayne, the biological son of Talia al Ghul and Bruce Wayne. Talia al Ghul. I thought that was two people. Talia al Ghul and Bruce
Talia
Wayne.
Angle.
Damian is also one of the Batman's Robins. All right, conflicted young superhero because of his complicated family history. Gunn describes the film as the beginning of the caring, chaotic household that is the Bat family. I like that. That actually excited me because we're getting something different. Because, you know, we have Robert Pattinson's Batman.
And the pictures are pretty cool, like that. Like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
And he's like a young kid. I like this whole idea of the Bat
But
family.
I wonder, is this Batman gonna be older? I wonder if it's gonna be older because I mean, because if it's supposed to be like a 40, 50-year-old, this is what I'm just
I don't
assuming.
think so.
But if it is, man, Ben Affleck, I can see Ben Affleck doing that really well.
No, Ben Affleck's definitely not coming back.
I know,
He's the
I
only
know.
one. Him and Henry Cavill are like apparently like
I know,
done.
but it'll just be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's younger. I think it's younger than that.
Some people think he might I think not write it. I think like direct it.
I would like to see him direct it. He never got to direct this
Yeah.
Batman. But I like the story of the Batman Robin, his son Damian Wayne. I would like to see how that plays out. It's something different. We never got that before. So that's refreshing because I was a little worried. I was like, oh, wait, are we just getting another Batman? When we,
But it's a different
have
take.
Robert Pattinson, but it's a different take with his family. It's about the Bat family. And I actually really like that. I'm curious to see who they cast and how that plays out with the rest of the DCU. But I think that could be pretty cool. Then we got another live action series, Booster Gold. About Booster Gold. Booster Gold is largely considered a loser hero from the future who travels back in time. That's interesting. So now we're dealing with time travel and stuff. And they did say, I think it was Peter Safran that said that one of the characters in this slate are going to deal with the multiverse. Seems like it might be him. So maybe that's how they explain this whole who's staying and who's going type of thing. I don't know. Booster's antics often involve his best friend, Ted Kord version of Blue Beetle. Okay. Gunn describes the show as basically the superhero story of imposter syndrome on an HBO Max series.
That's what it looks like. Some people think it's Chris Pratt. He might cast Chris
I
Pratt.
can see Chris Pratt doing that. That would be crazy, but does Chris Pratt want to do another superhero thing? I don't
money.
know. Especially that he's done a successful one with Guardians, you know?
Well, that's over now.
Yeah. But that sounds interesting. And also, I like what James Gunn said. Every director is going to apply their unique vision onto this. And also, he mentioned the rated R stuff. If it feels right for the story, because he kept saying that throughout the video. It's all about the story, all about the story, all about the story. So if it feels like it should be rated R and it fits that story, they are going to do that. And we have seen James Gunn do rated R before, so like he's not he doesn't shy away from that stuff. So I think that's really good.
And that's one of the big things I feel like DC is gonna do better than Marvel is the fact that they're gonna allow them to have their own unique take. Because the problem with Marvel, it feels the same
Yeah.
in each movie.
Yeah, it feels like the same director did every movie
yeah,
until
so-
except James Gunn,
Yeah.
Russo brothers. That's it, maybe.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, at least later on in the MCU. But I like that, and also the DC Elseworlds thing. I think is really big.
I think Marvel should really start doing it like these Marvel Elseworld type stories.
It doesn't need to connect.
I feel like Moon Knight should have been a trilogy of films.
Elseworld,
its own dark, unique
Blade
take,
should be Elseworld.
like Blade and stuff like that. But I mean, whatever.
Because I like what they're doing here. Because now think about it: if you're an average moviegoer, you're not into the whole DC connected universe thing. You got Joker.
It's already too much. Like I'm talking about the Marvel sense. Like
it's
TV
out of
shows,
control.
It's already too like okay. Like I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, and they need to do Elseworld to bring different people in. Because you look here. DC Elseworld, you got Joker, the Batman, Joker 2, Batman Part 2, and then you got Superman Lois, some like TV shows.
Teen Titans Go, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, that's
is that new or is this been out?
I think it's been going for a bit. I think
I know this one's been going. That's Superman and Lois.
Which you see that's cool because now you can bring in a different type of audience that doesn't need to worry about catching up on the DC universe. So I think that's smart, and I like that what he said about the rated R stuff.
Yeah,
if it feels it should be rated R. We'll get into it now, but I know Swamp Thing is one of the ones I was really excited about. But
that one looks pretty cool.
We went through Booster Gold, Supergirl.
This one I'm actually really excited for because the image that he used for it, that looks really cool. I'm looking at it now. Like I really like the art style of this, and I really hope it captures.
I like that idea of Supergirl. Pull up the article there.
I think.
Yeah, you see, Supergirl will be a much more jaded character to contrast with her Kryptonian cousin. Taking inspiration from Tom King and Bilquis Evely's book of the same name, we'll see Supergirl struggle to find herself in a world that feels cruel and hopeless.
I like that.
This live-action adventure will be a sci-fi epic that takes Supergirl mythos to all new heights. Yeah, I like that. So she's a jaded character, it's probably a little darker, trying to, find that optimism. It's actually, I mean, if you kind of think about it, it's kind of like Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Not as dark maybe, but kind of jaded.
But I love
doesn't want to.
That image.
That's a good image.
I really like when I saw. I was like, okay, that one. This I'm really excited for, and I really hope they do it well.
I'm curious to see who they cast for all this stuff too. I'm excited for that. I think Supergirl that looks really cool, especially this DC image that they used to explain it. And then after that, I mean, it's a total of 11 new projects. And then after that is Swamp Thing, which today. Just James Mangold just tweeted that
an image
of Swamp Thing, so he might be involved in this.
It's a rumor that he might be the director.
And
Which is pretty cool.
James Gunn does mention that it's going to be a departure from the other DCU projects, as much darker and horror influenced origin story. This makes a lot of sense as it was originally part of the Vertical label. The film will be totally outside of the DCU, but it will still feed into the rest of the stories. According to Gunn, Swamp Thing's story lends itself perfectly to botanical horror, so this project is sure to scare the roots off any audience. So yeah, they're going for a horror vibe here, but actual horror.
Is the only thing is I don't know much about this character. Is he like a villain to a certain hero, like to Superman, Batman, or something?
He's definitely like a villain. I don't know. What...
hopefully someone in the comments let us know because I don't know much. I don't know much about this character at all.
I'm excited for this though. Because again, what he said, they're not scared to go darker when they need to. Obviously, Superman's going to be PG-13, but you look at something like Swamp Thing, you have James Mangold doing it. Does it have to be rated R? Probably not, but you could do a hard PG-13.
Swamp Thing?
It's very possible.
I don't think Swamp Thing might be rated R. I don't know why. I have a feeling
could be.
It might be.
And even if it's not, you can still pull off a lot with a hard PG-13.
I think Swamp Thing, I'm going to look here. I think Swamp Thing might be rated R, and I think the Creature Commandos might be rated R. And maybe Authority.
Maybe, depending on what the content is. Because I feel like
I'm looking here at this image of the Creature Commandos, and I just feel like it's going to be a lot of that banter between them, which I do feel like it might be like rated R. And especially with James Gunn writing it.
Yeah.
And you know how his humor is.
Yeah, he's...
Is Peacemaker rated R?
Peacemaker was rated R.
Yes.
Remember, they were cursing all the time and stuff. Let's take a look at the full slate here. I like the slate. I like Swamp Thing. James Mangold possibly doing that. Sounds really cool. He did tweet that today. An image, which is pretty cool.
Is this the order they're coming out?
That's the order he talked about it.
So Creature Commandos first and then Waller. I wonder why Waller.
It's not confirmed. He did say it's not confirmed. They did say that Superman Legacy is 2025.
Damn.
That's the movie. That's like the start of everything.
Yeah, so first he's doing the shows.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how this plays out.
We have to wait so long. It's a shame that they've been so fucked up for so long because now we got to wait so long for all this.
And this is where I like this slate. I think it's good.
Oh, and they announced the release date for Batman 2, which is pretty cool.
Yes, 2025.
And they announced the trilogy.
Oh yeah, that's a given.
Yeah.
You know, and I like the Elseworld stuff. My question is now, because everybody's like, oh, but what about Aquaman? What about? I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna wait, let this stuff come out. That's why he didn't announce Peacemaker 2 or anything like that, because he doesn't want people to realize, oh shit, wait, so you're only keeping certain stuff and not others. What the hell? Because it's still too soon. The same way he brushed off these older DC movies that are coming out this year. Like, yeah. Except The Flash. He said The Flash is one of the best movies he's ever seen. They're trying to hype it up because it is going to reset the movie
universe. Does look good, though.
It does look good. Andy Muschietti is really good. And I think it's going to be great. And they did mention Batgirl. Remember, I think it was Peter Safran said that David Zaslav did a bold but courageous decision in releasing that, cutting it, because apparently it just wouldn't be good for the DC brand.
It would have hurt the DC brand.
Especially
that's
when,
what he said.
especially when you have Michael Keaton in The Flash, and they're saying The Flash is really good. Could be a good send-off for him. So, look, I'm excited for this. I want them to be good. I think they could be good. I'm just confused on who's staying and who's going. That's honestly the main thing. Like, is this a full reboot or not? Is it a multiverse thing where there's going to be variants, some stay and some go? And I hope it's explained as we continue to find out more information, you know? I like James Gunn. I think James Gunn's going to do a good job, and I like that he's saying that he's applying what he's learned from Marvel and applying it here. And how long have we been saying this on the podcast? DC, if they play their cards right, and right now they're getting organized, in the next 5 to 10 years, we said this, next 5 to 10 years, they're going to overthrow Marvel.
And also too, you have to, they have James Gunn, and he's been inside Marvel. He knows how it is, like the planning process, so he's taking what he's learned from Kevin Feige and Marvel, but he's going to apply it to DC, but just make it better.
James Gunn is applying that and his creative skills, because he's really good, man.
I mean, look how much he's writing and stuff. Like he's
heavily
writing
involved.
The Superman. He's writing.
He's a great writer and director. You look at Guardians. You look at Suicide Squad. You look at all his stuff. Peacemaker. He's really good. Now, I hope, and he's been saying this throughout the whole video, story is key. I hope they stick with story. Don't detour. Just stick with story. You know, give the people what they want in a good comic book movie. And we've learned very quickly, you give the people what they want, you know. And I'm not saying in like the Snyderverse way where, just give us, we want this person. No. But just honor the material, make it good, and people will be happy, Yeah. And I think this could really work, and I think this could throw Marvel out of the bus. I mean, they could just destroy Marvel.
And also look at the Matt Reeves Batman movie. The reason why it made what, 700
almost
million?
$1 billion.
Almost $1 billion.
It could have hit $1 billion
because they fucking HBO Max.
Whatever. that was a bad idea. But
look how the marketing for the movie was amazing. Look, it's a darker tone noir type film with Batman. And
it's a movie with a vision.
The movie with a vision.
No.
And I feel like now with this and his trilogy, that's what people want. And also now you have the Elseworld, and also you have the the whole like connected universe stuff.
Yeah.
Which is gonna help him a lot.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's big, because not everybody wants to be connected to the DC stuff, right? Not everybody wants to be connected to the DC stuff, so it's like with Marvel, right? There's a lot of people I talk to, they're like, I can't keep up with it.
It's too confusing.
I would like something refreshing that's not connected, that I feel like I have to do homework to watch something. You look at Joker, Batman, all this other stuff.
I wonder for the Brave and the Bold Batman movie, who do you think they're gonna cast as Batman?
From the image, it's not someone that old.
Yeah, he doesn't look that old.
Because the kid is young.
I'm curious, because you have Robert Pattinson, so I wonder who.
They might go a little older.
Man, I wonder who. Because who else can you get?
Like a Batman that's been around for a while, And I think that could be cool. And also, this is good for their DC slate, because now you already have the future set up, right? Because Batman, we all know Batman, very well. But now, I don't know how this storyline goes, but now you have a Batman with his family. Now when it's time for Batman to hang up the cape, or if you want to send them off, you have Robin set. And also, you have years and years worth of story.
And I think it might include also Nightwing, Jason Todd,
other members of the Bat family. So
it's a whole big.
You got a lot there to work with, and I'm actually really excited for that, because I was a little worried.
I wonder who's gonna direct it. I wonder who's gonna write it.
I would like to see Ben Affleck direct it. You know,
That'd be pretty cool.
now who they're gonna cast? That's gonna be interesting because Damian Wayne is apparently like 10 or 13 years old.
No, but
in the
I
comic.
have a feeling
They
might
gotta
age
go a
him
little
up.
older,
Yeah, maybe like 16, 17.
like 15. Well, you get like a 17, 18-year-old to play him, but you know, playing like a 15-year-old or something.
Yeah.
You got to make him a little older
Tom
so
Holland,
that
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, yeah, Tom Holland's everywhere. You get someone a little older to play him, like maybe like 15 or so. You know, I think that would make the most sense. Like kind of like that witty teenager. I think he's like conflicted, was what the article said. So because of the history, it's like a dark history with the family and stuff. It's really interesting stuff. I think this is a good slate
because he doesn't know, like, because I think what is it? What was it? That Batman didn't know he had a kid or something like that.
Something like that.
Like he didn't know he had.
So
one?
I mean, this is a good slate. They got to be good. That's the only thing. Now we just got to wait and see.
Yeah.
You know, and hopefully we get more answers as we continue to
Like who's staying, who's going.
Yeah, who's staying, who's going. I think the Flash is the
I
big
think
one.
Wonder Woman. I think you just recast.
I think that recast everyone.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, there's no way you can just keep. You know, I think they're gonna recast everyone. I think they know it. They just can't say it because they don't want to affect box office for these movies. After the movies come out, especially the Flash, they're gonna be like, okay, guys, this is done. Like just very quietly, they're gonna can it.
I have a feeling this Paradise Lost might tease something with Wonder Woman. Maybe. You think?
I think so. I think they might bring in a new, fresh Wonder Woman.
I think it's the
Do
best
that.
thing. I wonder who they're gonna cast.
You know, I think that's the best thing they can do. If you're gonna reboot all the way. That's what I say. And I'd respect that more. If you're doing the multiverse stuff, I don't know.
If this is done right, man, like the Game of Thrones
could be
style,
cool. Could be
that's pretty
cool. I just hope. I do think for the DC Elseworld stuff, I think they could have done something for Henry Cavill. Just a one-off, one more movie and send them off. He deserves that.
Yeah,
he deserves
but
a
the thing
movie.
is, if people
you know,
like that one more than the new Superman,
I think they just don't want to deal with that. They don't want, you know, two Clark Kents. They got to just focus on the Superman legacy, because that's going to be the face of the franchise now. And that's going to be some big shoes to fill for whoever is going to play them. You know, but you look, overall, I think it's a good slate. I hope the movies are good. Does it hurt that what they're doing to Henry Cavill? Yes. But let's see, man. Let's see. I think it's a good slate. And I think James Gunn is really good at what he does. And I'm excited to see what they do, because you got a creative like James Gunn and a really good producer, Peter Safran, and they're working together here. And I think that's really good. And I like what James Gunn has been saying about every director has a unique vision that they're going to apply to each movie. The story is, they have a whole story planned out. What more, you know, can you ask for? And we know he's not scared to go dark or anything like that. So, you know, let's see. Let's see. I think this is good.
Game. Now it's a waiting game.
Other than that, I mean, is that it? That's the whole slate?
Yeah, that's the whole slate.
I think
there's
Joker
more
2
to
is going to
come.
be cool. And yeah, this is not even the full chapter 1. This is just part of it. So there's more to come for chapter 1. Gods and Monsters. Is that what it's called? Yeah. It's very interesting. So yeah, I mean, look, I think we just got to wait and see. That's our thoughts on the breakdown. James Gunn, DC slate. I hope it's good. I want it to succeed. I want DC to succeed. I'm with the people that are kind of like hurt for Henry Cavill. I think they could have done an Elseworld, at least just one movie to send them off. He deserves that. But it is what it is. If you're gonna reboot everything. That's kind of like my take on that. And I'll be, I'm willing to just let it go and see where this takes us, because I think this is a good slate, and I think James Gunn and Peter Safran are gonna do a great job. I hope.
Yep.
Yeah, guys. This is Justin. Josh, any last words?
Nope, I'm done.
Any last words for the people back home?
Stay
Do your
sexy.
homework, eat your veggies,
Stay sexy.
stay sexy. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching and for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye.